All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are back to playing Werewolf the Apocalypse tonight. We are down. We were down one member of the pack, but we're going to continue on. Aaron will hopefully be back next week. And I was saying to them that this is the week I can. I don't know if Jeremy heard this actually. This is the week I can get you guys because like Jacques there not to like defend you. All I got to do is get through Eustace and like. It's still tough. That's a tough ask, but like Eustace and Jacques, that's like screw that. Like I'll figure something else.
We can run very quickly though.
And I don't roll like Aaron does. Like,
can't outrun a sniper bullet. That's fine.
Although Selena has tasted Krenos, and
she's tasted blood.
I'm still only rolling like
and she likes
dice,
it,
but you know.
Yeah. and plus, Melissa is very good at cheating and lying about what she rolled, so. She doesn't do that very often on this game. It's strange.
I don't ever do that.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure you guys. I'll scale or whatever.
I think this will be like a shopping session.
Is that what's it's just gonna be downtime session?
We're gonna go and
we just delay the whole session. Just what else can we do?
Yeah, we're
gonna put on some gray wigs and go shop for
we
houses.
role play decorating Duke's home again as it got destroyed.
Oh, there we go. That's a good idea.
We'll
do the montage of
treehouse.
Like, yeah, we'll welcome in the kids. We'll like have a montage of stuff of them getting used to the new digs.
Play some like 80s pop music.
Oh dear, you're showing your Duke age.
He's just leaning into it because he's like the youngest. Like he's the youngest, but like playing the oldest, I think. All right. Why don't we go ahead and we introduce everybody and we can get started. So Kipser, tell us about Lou and how she's feeling right now.
Riel is a werewolf who's a glasswalker Ragabash. She likes to be a detective and sort of figures things out a little bit and force people to read Excel sheets a lot. But also she's a little pissy because her kid got super beat up. Because maybe she thought that she could leave him with zombies and it would be okay. She also then tried to heal herself in between sessions and no, we're still very damaged.
Yeah, but you're not that pissed off because you've lost the wolf, so the rage is gone, right? It's true. It's right there. I can see it on the screen.
Don't look at my character sheet.
The actor had zero rage. It's right there.
I'll get it back.
Total failure, it says. Total failure.
Don't read that.
It says it. It's hilarious.
Don't read how many failed rolls before session I rolled.
It's crazy. All right. Next up, Jeremy, tell us about Eustace.
Yeah, Eustace is a Philodox Hart Warden. Just overall well-rounded, nice guy. Tries to stay even-keeled. Every now and then rips out somebody's throat, but that's just par for the course. We are werewolves,
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a werewolf game if we didn't do that every now and then. That'd be a weird. I mean, I guess it's doable, but
I don't think Duke has killed anyone.
I don't think Duke's done anything.
I
don't mean that.
Okay.
I like being spiteful.
Okay.
I
mean, part of the reason Duke has been alpha is because Jacques is there constantly saying he's alpha. Now Jacques not here. Is it time for a coup?
Yeah.
Is there a coup?
Hey, Duke.
Is that what's happening? Oh, goodness. Fantastic. All right, next up. Melissa, please tell us about your character, their tribe, and auspice.
So I'm playing Selena Bendis, who is a Children of Gaia Theurge. I still wrote it on my Zoom, so I can still just read it. She is, we were, before we went on stream, we were kind of discussing our little relationship map and how things have changed since we, kind of decided on the positives and negatives at the beginning. And one of the positives was that Lou wanted a closer relationship with Selena, and that is not true anymore. When Selena convinced Lou to keep doing the job and leaving the kid. And so Lou's a little mad at Selena. And Selena's okay with that because we did what we needed to do for the Karen, but also feels a little bad too.
I like how you literally emphasize the second syllable, like in Karen.
Karen.
You're just trying to get back on Lou's good side now.
Hard case.
Most of these are still pretty good, right? I think it's only Jacques is a loose cannon. I think Eustace, you're saying you actually kind of like Jacques, and then like you're not.
I feel like Eustace is almost flipped a little bit.
Duke has good, Tails is old fashioned.
How is Duke a loose cannon? Duke is the one who makes the most rational
No,
decisions.
I mean to say like the positive versus negative. Really, I think Eustace grew a little frustrated with Duke and grew to be okay with Jacques.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Festivus was a couple weeks ago, but do you want to air your grievances towards Duke really fast before he introduces himself?
Everyone get it all out.
I see no black gunk in you from sacrificing for the Karen.
He did heal you guys. If it wasn't for him, you guys would still be infected with that.
But
that
no,
gunk.
no one cares about that.
Nope.
There you go.
Eustace.
And plus, look at, all these little,
Eustace.
look at all these little kitties you got to bro. These little pups. You're
No one cares about
replenishing
that.
Yeah. All that would not have happened.
It's
Not
true.
for Duke.
Talking smack is fun.
So Duke, now that I built you up, tell us more about Duke and why he should be alpha of this pack.
Oh, yes. I'm playing Duke Dustfang. He's a Silverfang's Galliard. He is the beating heart of the pack. Clearly the one that is the glue that keeps them all together. He has surprisingly gotten a lot of use out of cartography. That has been a clutch skill to have, and has come up with the genius plan of going into the Umbra to go and try and save some of our pack mates that may or may not be alive. We don't know, but let's hope so.
All right. So, we don't have I'm used to like the beats like of the intros. We always end on Aaron doing like his his sort of West Virginia accent. So I'm like, okay. So once he starts talking like that, I move over and I look at my summary and stuff. But then like I totally wasn't ready. So
I mean, do we just all at this point do our best Waterboy impersonation? Because that's where the Jacques voice is going to evolve.
Right? Great. Oh goodness! I was hoping like it was going to get progressively worse and worse and worse to the point where like at the very end
It almost
campaign,
did.
Yeah. You pulled
Yeah,
me
there
back.
was
Stabilized,
sort of
but
a
there
curve.
was.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. All right. So last time around, you all returned to Phoenix, to Gaia's Grove, name of your sept. And you had Don Claw's young Garrow in tow, at least 5 of them, at least. Duke Safe House, as we already kind of alluded to. Some stuff went down there. The survivors from that original Echo Labs listening station awoke. There's possible that they were triggered by some kind of truck that was wandering around the area producing a signal. They attacked Lucas. They attacked Riley. And the two of them managed to escape. They crashed their car. In the process, Lucas called Gaia's Grove and got help from Adora. In fact, dragged Riley out into the desert. Riley is in some serious danger, but Lucas seems like he's going to pull through just fine. They are currently in your sept. They are in like the church, the rebuilt church over top of your special spring. So other than that, Adora was debriefing you all on various things that went down since you guys were gone, because it has been several days at this point since you guys left. So things that happened, Bodhi Darkpaw, one of the other kind of pack leaders at your sept, he went ahead and investigated one of those other Echo Lab sites that you all were originally going to do, but then you went up to Dawnclaws instead. And he was originally checking in, but there was some sort of spotty communication. He mentioned something about Whispering Sands, whatever that means. Internet search turned up that it was just a pre-planned community near White Canyon Wilderness, about an hour and a half southeast of your sept. Some basic research I think Duke was able to pull was that it used to be like a silver mining town at one point that showed up on a geological survey as a potential uranium site in like the 40s, around like World War II-ish. Later, it was known as a free love community, and there was some kind of thing about that community disappearing. That was in the 70s. All sorts of weird stories. Rumors these days suggest that either recently or in the sometime in the near recent past, a pack of stargazers might have called the area home. Hector Sunrunner, one of the newer members of your community, tried to chase after Bodhi, but kind of communication with him also stopped. So there's a whole about 4 or 5 of your fellow werewolves that are now missing. Another pack led by Warchild and Alvarez. They were heading to one of the other Echo Labs sites that you got in their metadata out west, but they got into some trouble with the cops. A couple of them got arrested. They're dealing with it. But Adora is really mostly concerned about what went down with Darkpaw, what went down with Hector, and what went down to this place to the south. So we'll pick up. I think you guys were planning to rest overnight. You had a handful of plans. I think one of them was to try to perform that cleansing ritual on Adora. I think you were trying to heal up a bit. I know a few of you wanted to do some howling to try to up your rage a bit, all that kind of stuff. So we can go ahead and take care of that. So if anyone needs rage stuff, if you're doing any kind of rage howling, go ahead and just do that. Track it yourself. We don't have to play it all out perfectly.
Yeah, that's where all my failures went. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely saw that. So we'll say we'll pick up like the night before you all are getting ready to leave, and it's not that far away. So if that's the case, I think Duke, you wanted to try to perform a ritual on Adora. Is that right?
Yes. And I mean, I think we told her about it, right? That we got cleansed and everything, so she's aware. Yeah.
So you don't sense any major skepticism from her. She's an older woman. She like there's no like voting or anything that goes on, but she's just sort of looked to just because of her wisdom, her age, her experience. Like she tends to be the one that people kind of go to for decisions. So when you approach her about it, she's certainly receptive. I would say she's probably also a little bit skeptical that like it's something that you could just somehow learn overnight, but like she'll nonetheless like submit to it, and you're like, well, what is it we have to do?
Well, we need to go to a bathtub, and we're gonna have to take you to the brink, and you're gonna have to basically almost drown to get rid of all of the stuff inside you.
Are the rest of you there?
Selena is with Lou attempting to feel better.
Lou is ignoring Selena, sitting near her kid and probably trying to focus on the computer to create loopholes to send to Warchild to get out of the police custody situation.
Very nice. Okay, you can roll tech.
Selena is hanging out by herself, feeling lonely.
Okay. Eustace, what are you up to? Where are you at?
I mean, depends on if Duke wants to do it solo. I get it. If you want a hand, I'm there. Whatever works best.
Whatever you want. Duke is not.
Sure. If there's any chance I could be a helping hand, it would be good to get that out of her.
All right. So we'll say you guys, there are plenty of bunkhouses. There's like a couple bunkhouses where people stay. There's bathhouses and such. So we'll say you go into one of them. You fill up one of the bathtubs. There's plenty of space right now. You got some of the young Garrow are kind of cleaning up here and there, repairing. It's evening times. There's not as many regular workers that are around. So you're able to kind of situate and have some privacy. And yeah, go ahead and Duke, roll an occult wisdom test. And Eustace, are you assisting or are you just observing?
I don't have a cult. If it was like a... I don't have a cult. So
no, it's okay. Like you participated in the ritual, like you had it done too. So I have no problem with you doing it. You don't have to roll anything for it.
I would be trying to assist. Just
okay,
whatever extra set of hands might help with.
So we'll just say Duke, take an extra rage die, and that'll be your assist from Eustace as you try to do this.
Won't let me roll with wisdom because it's a right. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, you just have to pick a stat that's like the same amount as what you have. Is what I've been doing.
Okay. Drive. That went over so well for us last time.
I went finally. I don't know what you're talking about.
Over again, and then over again, and then it landed.
Yeah, I'm going to pick something else because that just sounds like a bad luck. Okay, investigation.
Worth chance for a redemption.
I did get 6 on the technology for coming up with some bullshit loopholes around getting people out of prison. I feel this is appropriate.
And Selena lost the wolf and failed to regenerate.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the bottom of the barrel.
Okay. So let's describe how horribly this goes, because it doesn't work. It goes.
God.
So Duke got a brutal outcome. So he got two ones or twos on basically his rage die. So
Don't
Duke,
kill her.
difficulty was 3, which you did not hit, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
I can
how did-
re-roll, right?
Can't remember if you have to
Re-roll. I can
Like
re-roll
a
one
brutal
green
outcome.
die.
A brutal outcome is kind of like a crit fail, though. Like it just
I'm double
kinda
checking.
is.
That
Oof.
I can't remember.
I
if
didn't like
that
her anyways.
Stops. it.
Don't kill.
Oh,
Let
God.
the true
Uh,
alpha reign.
No,
He really
I will
does
never
want to take
follow
over.
you.
I'm just-
I did not vote for you.
I didn't really want to have problems
You
with
see,
you, but
you see Jacques' hand on top of my hand as we're doing the
Oh
rain.
my god.
So
Yeah.
you can re-roll the other dice.
I'm
I
not seeing it.
suppose.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and reroll.
So
I'm not seeing anything
okay,
you
so I
can't.
could succeed and still have
It's just gonna hurt
that
her.
outcome.
Process.
when you said bring her to the brink, it didn't mean you actually had to choke her out in the tub,
Letting
man.
out some
Hey,
anger.
I've never done it before. All right, I did succeed.
Oh, okay. So you did succeed. You got your 3 successes. Though, how do you? So, so obviously the basic process of her head going down, her kind of going limp, like kicking here and there as she's struggling to breathe, and that the water itself becoming soiled and dirty from whatever it was that was inside, like emptying out through her mouth, through her nose. But what do you think? What do you think goes wrong? Because like the brutal outcome's still going to hurt her or harm her in some way. So how does this go wrong for Duke, especially since it's just coming on rage? Like, what is it that happens to Duke as this ritual goes sideways?
I think it's like more of a situation where Duke like gets lost in thought and isn't
Mhm.
realizing what he's doing. Like he starts thinking about his house and how it got messed up and like stuff with the pack and issues that are going on. And it's like he's continuing to do the right, but he's like kind of lost for, a brief amount of time, and it just goes a little too long, even though it's completed.
Dude, come on now. That's
Like one of
enough.
those senile moments that's happened in the.
Come on now. That's enough.
Pulls her out.
And when you look down, you can see that the water in the tub isn't just black, but bloody red. As like in your lost in thought, going through like the anger of what happened with your house, like you didn't fully transform, but you can see like the fingernails have grown a little bit, like the claws of Glabro kind of started to form a little bit, and just dug into the back of her neck, into her throat, and you can see these little puncture wounds as you pull her back. It takes a moment for her to come back, like her regen has to kick back in for her to really come back too. But when she does, it's like almost like a baptism at that point where she's taking this huge inhale of breath, and like her mouth is kind of bloody. You can see that her neck is a little bit bloody. She looks down at the bathtub. She looks at you, Eustace. She looks at you, Duke. I will say that she looks a little bit more herself in some ways, but at the same time, she kind of looks at you, Duke, with like a sense of, like that's the sense of suspicion hasn't gone. Like she's kind of eyeing you. That was more violent than you suggested it would be.
Yeah, I mean, we're werewolves, right? Sometimes things get carried away. I was thinking about Lou and how she completely ruined my secret hideout, and I my bad. Didn't mean to hurt you. Selena can heal your neck if you need help.
No need. And you can see they're already starting to like heal back up as like.
But he points at the
regen's kicking
bathtub.
in.
Look.
Her head kind of turns, and you can see as it begins to settle, it kind of starts to fall down to the bottom of the tub, almost like silt. The top parts of the water are kind of murky with the blood still, but it's just like this silty bottom to the bathtub itself. What do you do with it?
I think he just drained the bath. What did he do? Did he do anything?
As far as you know, he just drained the bath.
Yeah.
When everyone in. Yeah. So you pull the plug, drains on out, cleans, and the ritual has been performed. A door has been cleaned, but she will remember the brutality.
Perfect
Adorable.
success.
Dora will
Remember
remember
this.
that. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Just as planned.
Okay. Anybody else have business tonight?
Lena tried to heal and lost the wolf, so Selena's gonna hang out as a human.
No.
Okay. All right. Did you howl at the moon or whatever?
Yeah. We'll say that I did that and I got one back. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I wasn't going to do what Lou did, and then I was like, I can do this, and then I didn't.
Okay.
And Selena's just looking in the window to see how Lou and Lucas are doing because Lou's ignoring her.
Lucas,
Okay.
pretend to be asleep. She's looking through the window again. Don't worry about it.
At a certain point, Lou, late in the night, maybe Lucas falls asleep. Riley stirs, and remember, Riley's whole shoulder is got wrecked by a bullet during his escape. He kind of got shot by something, and considering what happened with you all when you were on the road, maybe it was something similar. But he stirs. He's kind of wild and confused. He's got bandages over half of his face.
Riley, you're okay.
What?
Calm down.
What?
Riley, okay, don't move. You're very injured.
Is he okay?
Yes, you did great. You saved Lucas. He told me that without you, he would have been in so much trouble. But you are not well. You have to remain calm and try not to move while you recover.
And he like spits a little. You can see like there's like blood.
Melt.
And
Oh,
he's like, my back.
oh, your backpack? Yes, okay, let me. And Lou will kind of go grab his backpack to bring it towards him. What is in here? Do you need, is there alcohol I can give you to help soothe your...
File.
Oh,
File.
yes, yep. And Lou will start digging through and looking for files.
And so he points you to a file on Sasha Bennett. As you, prior to leaving, had asked him to look into this person. It's not fully complete, but there is some write-up. You can see there's a handful of things, basic background, but you are getting an idea of who they are. Like there's the Echo Labs. They have a main site, downtown Phoenix, kind of business area. Bennett seems to be the head of those offices. And from what, as you're kind of going through this, he's sort of starting to fade back in and out, consciousness here and there. Maybe someone comes
Here,
in.
have a few puffs of cigarettes to help with your... Yeah, there you go.
He's on oxygen, so this is going to go great.
Just blows up.
Just blows up, explodes. You're fine.
Oh my god.
So you, it's apparently some kind of, it's sort of like a think tank brain, like a company, Deep Pockets, he says. Locations seems multinational to a degree, or at least has many locations. It's not just here. Does seem like they're like sort of a fringe, like a fringe science group. They pursue like all sorts of like various avant-garde research and things like that. Some of it's legitimate, some of it's fringe. So there's things like that. You're getting like neuroscience, radio astronomy, orgone theory, astral projection, all that kind of stuff. And so one of the things that he includes in there is what is like some basic like op research, like oppositions research on like Sasha Bennett, who was an MIT grad, made some donors unhappy, published some questionable research when they were working at MIT into clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. So those are like paranormal hearing, paranormal seeing, and paranormal feeling. Lost some grant money, but eventually found a private sector benefactor. And that's basically where it stopped for him in terms of his research. All he kind of seems to go like he's like you can see financials are complex, they're deep, they don't make any sense, that sort of thing. And that's basically all he had time to do really before things went crazy with Lucas.
Okay, Riley, please rest. I've got the file. I'm reading it. I understand. We're going to do a little bit of bit of anarchy. Here, you can have my spare pack of cigarettes for when you need them.
Thank you. I
You're
can
welcome.
barely grab onto them. My arm doesn't work, but thanks.
Yeah, you got really fucked up. You need to really say pardon. It's very bad.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, just relax as best you can. The cigarettes should provide some numbing.
Okay. Thanks. You're a good friend. And
I wish I was better sometimes. Okay. We're going to go do
I
some
do
anarchy,
too.
so just relax and don't think about that too much.
all right. So he'll go back and rest. We'll say night passes unless there's something anyone had. Morning will come. You all have access, even though like you've lost access to some of your vehicles and stuff. It's not hard to get them, so that's not an issue. But you all meet back where Gaius Grove. The drive to where you would be going, like these coordinates. You have actual coordinates to them. You have Whispering Sands, the name of this like development site. And that's really it. You don't have a name or any other person to go on, no contacts down there. You guys did try to do a roll to see if you knew any of the stargazers. You did not. So you're kind of just going down there a little blind. Although you do know that some of your own people might be down there. But it's only about an hour and a half away. So it's not that long of a drive. So is there any last lingering things before you head out?
Lou would spend a moment in the morning to gather Selena, Eustace, and Duke and show them the file on Sasha Bennett. And I don't know if she's related to the TGG that Jacques was talking about, but it seems like it might be the think tank part of that. And you can see she did the clairvoyance, clairsense, other stuff. I totally remember exactly what was said.
Yeah, clairsentience, clairaudience,
Yes.
and one other. Yeah.
Yep.
Bunch of Claires,
Claire.
yeah.
Really,
Claire
a lot
stuff.
of Claire stuff.
Gotcha, all the Claires.
Yeah, Claire's, Karen's, they're
Wait,
just
maybe we
everywhere.
should go
Beauty
to
Claire.
the Claire's boutique. Might be a good idea.
You know, I was thinking of something now
Oh,
since
no.
it's just the four of us. So Riley was the one that found all that information out?
Yes,
Okay.
but unfortunately, I think as much as I don't want to do it, a bunch of our wolf pack friends are in danger, and we still might have to try to go and save people instead of leaving them for several days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
what I was trying to say was, don't you find it a little weird that Jacques knew information about this business
But
when he
has-
hates technology and Riley spent all this time researching it?
he
Are you
disappears
saying
all the
he's
time.
not an
So.
investigative savant?
I mean, we've all met Jacques.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird. I feel like he randomly says like information about our situations, but I don't understand how he knows it when he tells us all the time that he is a wolf. You know what I mean?
He clearly has friends that are not you, Duke. I'm sorry, he's expanded his friend group.
That's
So the question is, like, clearly he's somebody who goes out to go have a hunt. So who's a hunting buddy that would have this kind of information? That's a great question.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't
very
know.
fair question.
I feel like we feel like we should talk to them more. I mean,
Maybe we can ask Jacques if he'll do an introduction, but c'est pas bon. It's good to not just hang out with a werewolf sometimes, you know.
no, I don't
that's fair.
know. Really.
It is
I
an
know.
interesting question, though. It will be more difficult, the task we have at hand, if he does not join us.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
He'll catch up in a heartbeat. He knows where we're going.
yeah, hopefully he'll come soon because I don't fancy where we're going next. So I think our plan last night when we were talking about it, we are thinking of going to the Whispering Sands and then the Echo Lab location, one after the other. And then maybe we should include this location downtown afterwards and see if we can't sneak in to find a Sasha and more information around that. It might be
Yeah,
more than a
that's-
day to do all three.
It's on the list, but yes, I definitely think recovering our sept mates is top.
Right. And we might have to
I
help
agree.
the other ones that got arrested potentially.
Oh no, I
too,
sent
so-
him a bunch of loopholes to get them out of prison.
Well,
it's
you've
not,
also done a lot of things in the past that haven't worked, so we'll just see what happens.
I think
Okay.
I am very good at breaking the law and getting away with it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Look, all of us have ups and downs. Sometimes we are participating, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we do great things. You know,
And I am
it's an ebb
great
and a flow.
at getting away from the cops and getting out of prison.
Yeah, I would say in fairness, if it comes to a situation to think of some bullshit, some smoke to blow up the law's ass, that is going to be what Lou does.
Well, Duke is also, I will give it to him, he is very good as a bullshit.
Yeah, true. Like face to face, Duke is just the
Yes.
most charming son of a bitch you're going to meet. But, a lot of what you do, you send people stuff online, you hear it in the right way. It's different.
Thank you, Eustace. I think your brewing skills are the best I've ever tried.
Well,
We
that
should probably
means a lot
drink
to me.
some of
Thank you.
that when we get there.
I've not been able to heal for the last few days, so yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I know.
Hey,
I've got this this
Yeah.
crick in my back that just won't go away. Like, oh, don't get old, kids.
Yes, I would agree.
It's like all of us are old except Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're taking the young pups with us.
No,
I was
should
going
we?
to leave them here.
I thought we should keep them. I mean, if we're going into prepared territory, I don't know if we really want
I think
their
we
lives
want,
on the line.
And it
Yeah,
is a
small-
place. Yeah, small is good, and also we know this is a group that is especially trying to capture and study,
Mhm.
and that doesn't seem like the place where you bring in the young. I feel bad about that, both on a level of like, hey, come join us. By the way, we're going to use you as meat shields, let you get captured first.
yeah,
that
I
just
feel, I
Yeah.
agree.
Doesn't sit right with me.
I feel like we shouldn't bring them into danger as soon as they join us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I
I
really
know
It's a fair
suboptimal.
question, and there's a part of me that like I see, you two are looking a little rough,
Very much, yes.
You also don't have any. If you guys do take them, there's literally only Adora left at your set.
Mhm.
So it's
I think
completely utterly
I think
undefended.
they should hang out with Adora
Yeah.
and have a nice
and Lucas
experience.
and Riley and
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we don't have the El Camino anymore, but I guess
What are you
these
driving
trucks will have
now?
to do.
What's the next?
Ooh.
What's next? What do we have
Honestly, I think we should go steal a car because I don't want it to be linked back to us.
We have our own
Why?
cars
There's
that
cars
already
right
aren't
out
linked to
there.
us.
Yeah, but we can easily hotwire something
fine.
and the license plate won't be to our carriage.
I believe there is a late 90s like Ford Ranger truck that
Okay.
Selena's gonna like.
Well, I thought.
Get
Well, we
into.
had a Bronco, so if we want to do a Ranger, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
we lost the Bronco.
Okay. So the
Yeah.
four of you will hop into the Ranger. Some of you might be in the back, some of you might be in the front, and you start driving. No driving rolls necessary. It's an hour and a half. It's a smooth drive. It's not difficult. No one, as far as you can tell, is following you. Are you going? I'm presuming, Lou, you have something that you can with you that you can kind of do GPS like location.
Yes, I feel like Duke probably also has a legitimate paper map.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's fair. So one of the things you'll notice that the coordinates that you had from the Echo Labs data does seem to correspond to like what you find online in terms of like where this whispering stands. You think they're basically pointing to one of the same. They might be neighboring lots. They might be the same lot. You never really know exactly how the real estate breaks down. But you will notice as you get past Florence, kind of in the direction, like you're in the middle of nowhere. Like there's like nothing around. And there's at best there's like a stop along the way here or there, gas station, very small little grouping of buildings. Sometimes it's like a tourist thing. Sometimes it's just something for people who are traveling over from New Mexico or whatever. And once you kind of start approaching where you think you're going, one of the things you notice is there's like a billboard or two up on the side of the roads that kind of are announcing Whispering Sands as like a new development, like grand opening, lots available, new phase beginning, get in on the ground floor. And you're seeing that over and over and over again. And those give you basic instructions like turn left here, turn, this here, that kind of thing. However, when you follow them and you get to the turnoff, and you literally are looking around, and to the south of the road, to the north of the road, extending as far as you can see is just desert, just scrubland. But you see a road, and it's supposed to have a turn off. Like there's supposed to be like this turn off that's supposed to take you to Whispering Sands, and you do see a road. It's there, but there are barriers that have been set up. They don't look like police barriers, but they look like just like private land. Someone just sort of set up their own like makeshift gate or makeshift barrier that's blocking it. There's next to no traffic. Every few minutes a car will pass. It's that kind of road, and it kind of goes off in that direction. But you can't see anything within 3 miles of you. It's all flat in all directions. A little bit further to the north, you can start seeing some mountains and such. But like all in your immediate surroundings, it's all very flat.
If technology breaks down, and maybe I know this car is old, so it probably doesn't have much electronics. Maybe we hide it and then take some wolf form out to this area, a little bit more discreet.
So quick question. So there were billboards that were kind of announcing this. Was there any like phone number to like a sales office or anything like that that was on those billboards?
If that's what you're looking for, there's definitely you can definitely find like a toll-free number if you're like an interested investor or an interesting for customers and things. And there's also the website, which you actually had already found. So there's links to both. So at some point, you certainly could have taken that down.
Do we want to give a call and just see if we can talk to somebody, and what does it take to kind of get a tour around here?
What would be the lie? Are you guys thinking you're like retirees going to a retirement area or something? What's going to be our cover story that suits who we are?
Clearly, I'm a retiree.
Yeah.
Sure, we could do that.
Just, us old folks, you and me.
We could say we're lost,
retired,
and we could say that we're following the billboards and we can't find where we should go.
Oh, that's pretty
We
good.
can play that lost puppy route.
Well, either way, I think someone with a American accent would be better to do the phone call.
Yeah, I was going to volunteer. I wasn't necessarily sure that people with your accents are not popular in these here parts.
If people love me, je ne sais pas quoi tu dis.
Is there a lot of
true.
French people
do
down
love
there?
you.
Thank you, Eustace. Don't shake your head.
Okay.
Here, look, let's call and put it on speaker and we'll both talk to them, because that way it's like we can really dig in that lost feel of us like arguing and things like that,
Just get lost in your
that's
thoughts
true.
about the things that you're angry about.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, you might
God.
bleed a little bit, but we're werewolves, so it just regenerates. It's fine.
I'm finding that is very difficult, regenerating and feeling rage consistently, honestly.
I have been more angry lately.
Good for you for healing.
So I'm assuming we've got
okay.
like a burner phone of some kind that's like
fine.
a non-traceable kind of a number, and Selena's dialing the number.
Sure.
I probably bought like 5 burners at the gas station where I bought my Camel cigarettes.
2 rings, and then it goes to a sort of sounds like a messaging service. It says you've reached the offices of Cynthia Ford at Stamford Investments. If you are calling about properties at Whispering Sands, please leave your name, number, place, and a perfect time I can contact you, and we'll be glad to get back to you and talk to you about all the exciting opportunities available in the next phase of Whispering Sands. And then kind of goes through a rigmarole, and then beep, and it's expecting you to leave a message.
Yes. Hello.
God, we're so lost. All right, you go first.
Yes. Hello. Yes, we're very interested in one of these, but we're hoping that maybe someone is around to give us a tour, possibly? Would we be able to get a call back? And I'm going to repeat the number like 3 different times just to make sure that it's very clear that it was left.
Okay. You do that. Eventually, it beeps through, and that's that. You've left your message. Okay.
That kind of
Well,
sucked.
that didn't quite go how I was hoping. I was
Do we
okay.
want to just
Yes.
like Umbra it up and see what happens?
I think so. I think hide this small
put the
pickup.
car
We can
somewhere.
hide it behind a shrub, and yes, good plan.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll the check, Selena, to go through because you're doing the right shadow passage.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So everybody who doesn't have the right contributes a rage die. So it's 3 people who are going to give you a rage die.
Do we get rid of our
Even if
rage
we
dice?
don't have a rage die?
Yeah, she
Did you
has
roll
as
at the
part.
moon
It's
after?
it's
Okay.
part of her rolling. It's not like you give it to her for free. It's like
Okay.
she's
Okay,
adding
just
it to her pool.
participation.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it basically in some ways it helps, in some ways it makes it harder because it's more ways it can go wrong.
It's rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
So-
can never go wrong doing it right.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficulty 3 to get through there, Selena. I'm presuming you try as best you get. If somebody wants to roll to hide your vehicle, well,
I mean,
we can do that too.
What would that be?
I'll take anything from like
Streetwise?
Stealth.
stealth is fine. Subterfuge, maybe.
ooh, I've never rolled that. I might not that bad.
Yeah,
I don't
give that a
have
go.
any
I've got-
dice in that.
I have nothing in the middle section of my character sheet, so that's one of those. I got nothing.
It gives us subterfuge, and we'll treat it like I don't know. We can make it more like maybe like a wits test, like our intelligence test, like trying to find a good place to hide it. Because you guys are all strong enough to move the car, so I don't really think of it more of like the physical. It's more just trying strategically to find a good place for
Are
it.
you rolling, Lou?
I have nothing
Oh,
in.
okay. I got it.
Okay,
Duke's specialty.
Yeah, I was assuming you
higher the better.
I have larceny for when we need that, though.
There we go.
Larceny would have been if
3
you wanted to steal
successes.
the car. Okay,
I did want
Right.
to steal a car.
I know that's what you would have rolled. That's what I would have called for. Okay, all right. So we'll say you find like although it's relatively flat in all directions, there are plenty of places where you can see like there's like heavy scrub brush, there's scrubland, there's a couple boulders here and there. So you'll find a place that you can kind of hide it behind. Somewhere a little bit further off the road, you have a truck. It's probably a little bit easier to drive for the road. You try to time it right so that some random vehicle doesn't see you doing it. Yeah, you do your best and you hide it as best you can. And Selena, you said you wanted to move over into the Umbra. You want to do the shadow passage roll?
Yes. That is 2 successes. So I think I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll up to 3 dice.
Okay. Don't
I
forget
can
you have rage dice in that, so keep an eye on which ones are your rage
4
dice.
of them are rage dice. Oh,
Okay.
right.
Yeah, you can't re-roll those. Yeah, such as
I can't re-roll a 1 or a 2.
Right, and
Or I can't re-roll
brutal
rage dice.
You
outcomes
can't re-roll
cause
rage
people
dice
damage.
at all.
Oh, well, never mind then.
You can
Because
only
I was
re-roll
rolling
the green
true?
ones. Yeah, yeah. It's
4
only the
of-
green dice you can re-roll, I believe.
I thought a brutal
Oh,
result can't be re-rolled.
Yeah, I think it's just brutal.
oh.
I think this is stuff that I think you can. You can't you can't re-roll brutal results, but you can.
Okay, we can
re-roll
re-roll
rage
any
dice.
of the rage dice or
Yeah.
any of the. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So the 2 on the rage dice I can't re-roll, but the other 2 3s on the rage dice I can re-roll.
That's fine. hmm
There's
Oh, no,
way this
she
could go
might-
wrong.
Well, 4 of my 5 dice pool are rage dice because that's
I
what
feel
you
very confident.
gave me was rage dice. So,
Embrace the rage.
oh,
Mhm.
crappies.
Oh, crappies.
I wonder what that means.
Oh.
So-
What a response. Oh, crappies.
Lou has just FYI, Lou has left a little note on Lucas's like sleep body
Okay.
What a good
this
mom.
time.
Yeah.
That's good. to know at this
Just
particular
before this
moment
goes
in time?
wrong.
How did your roll go there, Melissa?
3 successes and then 2 brutals.
2 brutal. Okay,
Oh,
so a
God,
brutal outcome
no.
means that the participants, which is all of you, suffer a level of aggravated damage as you cross over through the gauntlet, but it does not cause automatic failure of the right. So we'll say that similar to where you just hid the car, you find a place that is relatively out of sight. The ritual is an instant, so it takes a few times.
There were 2 brutal outcomes, so that's
Oh.
2.
No, a brutal outcome is the pair. It's a pair.
Oh,
Brutal, like a brutal result.
Yeah.
You have to get it 2 pairs. Yeah.
okay.
So-
I was a little worried there.
So you go through, and all of you, despite the fact that you're kind of in the relative wide open, like this should be other than a gauntlet, should be fairly, other than your cairn, should be relatively easy to pass through. But nonetheless, you all feel this drain kind of go through you, and you feel like a sharp stomach pain, each of you, like just horrible sharp stomach pain, like hunger pains. And then when you're kind of physically pushed through into that kind of weird sort of glistening the glow of kind of the passing through into the spirit world, like you arrive feeling hunger pains that just sit with you, and when I say hunger, I don't mean for anything but just food. You feel extremely hungry, and all of you feel this terrible pit in your stomach. Each of you go ahead and take an aggravated damage as the Umbra begins to open up around you. Now, there's one thing that stands out more than anything else on an otherwise, even on this side, everything still kind of looks relatively mild. You see, obviously, some spirits, some basic tech spirits at work by your car. You can see the spirits of animals, small animals here and there, kind of moving about in these different directions. There's plenty of critters and such in the desert here and there. One of the things you notice to the north, though, is you notice what looks like a sort of a massive tentacly, it's like half cabbage, half tentacles. Like it's this massive, like bulbous looking thing. And you see these strange like tendrils or tentacles, like, flinging out in either direction from it. If this were the physical world, it would be probably 4 or 5 miles. Obviously, it's different in the spirit world. But it looks enormous. It takes up the entire northern skyline, so to speak. It has this look of something that's vegetative, but also living. And there's just things like whipping around and slapping like it's like at the air. Once or twice you notice like lights and such begin to glisten, and then one of those dark kind of tendrils will like kind of wrap around it and sort of just smother out that light until it's gone.
The hell is that?
That is not natural.
Oh, I'm so hungry. What happened? I normally never get hungry when we travel the Umbra. Why am I so hungry?
I think I was just a little distracted when I was kind of making my little drawings, and I might have missed a little bit of one. I try to take in the environment when we're doing our crossing, and I missed it.
We're here, and lingering on that's not going to do us any good. What will do us good is getting the fuck away from that thing.
Well, is that where we need to go?
I think that's where we're going.
Might be
God damn
where our.
Oh my God, we're
that might
hungry
be
and it's
where
a
they
cabbage.
It's a cabbage squid.
Sounds like food to me.
Yeah, those are 2 things you can eat.
are. Oh, so wide berth. Go around, see what we can.
I guess.
See.
Can Duke roll an occult on what this is?
Yeah, the thing that comes to mind for me is like, you've got the black spiral dancers, which are like corrupted Guru. Can you have a corruption of the green? Is that a thing that can happen?
Oh.
Corrupted cabbage?
More.
Said cabbage. I regret saying cabbage now.
You'll never
Can you
forget
roll
the
a
word
call?
cabbage.
Yeah, you absolutely could roll an occult. This one's gonna to actually identify what it is. You're gonna need a bit of a high roll on that one, though. So the higher the better. Basically, we'll give you some more info.
Okay.
But
I would also like to roll occult.
go for it. Occult
with
intelligence.
Intelligence.
Is going. Yeah, this is just a knowledge.
4.
Four's pretty good. So it's very clearly when you look at it, and you're a ways away. You're not that close, but obviously, again, distances are a little bit murky in the Umbra. It is certainly a spirit of some power. Like when you look around, you can see all of these small gaffling, jaggling spirits kind of moving about in the distance. Even when you went to the mage tower in the mountains, obviously there was like the massive presence of the spirit of the Rocky Mountains. This is not that size, but you also encountered that serpentine along the way, which was that kind of massive dual sort of snakes like dancing around the sky. This is of that size, like it's of that, like you think from that enormity and probably of that power. Geru don't normally interact with those kind all that regularly. Like it's like not like a common occurrence. They're very inscrutable to a certain degree over what they want and what they are. But this is certainly something of that level or higher, Duke. You would imagine.
So is this like on par with either the spider thingy that we encountered at the mage or our own water spirit?
This is likely more on par with your own water spirit in terms of strength, maybe even stronger, in fact.
And is any of like the tentacly weirdness giving us vibes of like when we found our water spirit like corrupted?
Yeah, that seemed more like some, like as far as you can tell, that just seems more like its body. It almost like you guys were making like squid jokes and stuff, but that's not that far off. Like it's kind of what it feels like to you.
Okay, it doesn't seem like it's a black ooze type of thing that we encountered.
Yeah, it didn't have that sort of like blackened sort of. It was sort of like a worm itself, like made of like that kind of black sort of taint stuff that you kind of inhaled. It's not that. Like this definitely has a different coloring to it. At this distance, at this glance, it doesn't really, like, there's not probably a whole lot you can derive from it other than it is the spirit of some significant power.
I think we're going to need to get closer and see what other information we can figure out from this.
Yeah, I mean, we can Hail Mary and try and abjure it like we did the spider, which we were really close to like kind of dispelling. So it's possible, but I don't know but that could be like a worst case scenario.
Yeah, let's maybe talk to it first. Eustace is very good at being polite to things.
Oh, okay. Great. I appreciate your vote of confidence. And
You've got the spirits in the wizard tower to listen.
I don't know this thing knows the meaning of parlay, but okay.
So we're going to get closer.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and expend a superficial willpower for talking, travel to it, that kind of stuff.
Nope.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. You took a thing.
Yeah.
Smart.
So eventually you find yourselves moving down. You see a very clear distinction between what looks like the earth and what looks like the road. Even in the Umbra, it has very clear distinctions. There is an undulation, like a natural undulation to the earth itself, and there is like a sort of a sterile flatness to the road, to the point where like you feel like you're almost traveling down that offshoot. That you kind of see the direction that you're going. There is a sterile road that's moving in the direction of that giant pitcher plant thingy that's off in the distance, and you get a little bit closer and you realize that it is literally enormous. Like it is the size of like maybe a football stadium, couple football stadiums, that kind of size. As you continue to get closer and closer, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you feel like you are kind of standing relatively at the base of a massive like Colosseum, but one of greater proportions than even that might be. And you do see that skirting around the edge, like these would very much are just like, you know, like squid tentacles, like squid, they're just sort of falling down. These arms just kind of scrape around the ground, and it kind of goes over the undulation. And you see like this dust kind of flutter up towards the sky. You also notice that flat sterility of the road kind of opens up a bit more. You see some strange sort of vague shapes here and there. You definitely get the sense that there are some sort of man-made items like on the edge of this giant thing looking down at you. Anybody who wants, make a wisdom occult roll, as you are like, this isn't so much for navigation. This is more just trying to look and see, as even at this distance, like you can tell it's not like a physical thing. Like if you stood at the side of like an octopus or a squid, and you could see the opaqueness of its skin to a degree, like you're not seeing that here. It's a little bit more translucent, and at times you almost see a pattern form. Lou got a crit, it looks like. Very nice. Okay, Lou and Duke both got 4. It looks like, is that right?
I
got 3.
Yeah, 3. Okay. The 4 with the crit. Lou, as you're watching, and I'm gonna still keep you guys at about 50 yards or so from it.
I don't want to fight this thing. It's too big.
You can your neck is straining just looking up. You can see that this sort of translucent skin, so to speak, is sort of shifting and moving and kind of changing colors here and there, and sometimes it's kind of pulsating too. But every now and then, as it does so, like it becomes very thin, and you actually can see through it, and you see on the inside of it, when it opens up, you see very similar, kind of like what looks like man-made buildings. You see these, which just looks like rows and rows of these generic boxes, one after the other. Everything looks the same, looks the same, looks the same, looks the same. You see that same kind of sterile, flat ground as well. And you're able to see that ever so momentarily. And you could just see rows and rows and rows. And then the kind of opaqueness begins to overtake once more. And that translucence goes away. And I'll say the other thing you notice, I'll give you another thing you notice, and maybe even, anybody else who took 3 or 4, you notice that probably off a little bit further to the west, there are mountains that are certainly forming. You're seeing kind of the familiar shape of how they kind of look sometimes in the Umbra. And you see something maybe about halfway up the slope a bit. You can see there's some glowing up there that's a little bit brighter, almost like it's a beacon in some ways.
Okay. First off, if you guys all look very closely, when it's pulsing out, sometimes the membrane looks very thin, so you can see inside that sort of boring housing is happening in there, I think. But Duke, you might have a better sense of the landscapes than me. Is the Echo Lab in that direction? Because there's a little lighty beacon thing next to the mountain over there.
Well, let me just pull out my map.
Let's see if it works in the Umbra.
I'm just looking at a map.
You can absolutely look at the map, but you don't really have anything around that you can really use. Like the Umbra isn't a 1-for-1. Umbra is very much like a metaphorical representation of the physical. So like trying to deduce it, you can roll. You could give a wisdom. No, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah, you can do a wisdom cartography, maybe do something like that.
And just maybe
high requirement.
If you know that the Echo Lab is in the direction of the mountains, or maybe it's something else. That was just an idea.
What is how would I roll it? What does the specialty do for you?
It's just an extra die.
Okay, I'll just roll something with extra dice. Then. Wisdom. Sheesh.
It's definitely Mojo World.
I love
He's looking,
Mojo.
at, he's looking at the card. He's looking at the map, and he puts his finger
Mojo.
one where hot, cold.
Yeah, cool. Ah.
Oh, and rolls a brutal outcome.
On
So,
reading
Wow,
maps.
we are just really on fire with those
Maybe
brutal
we should stop
outcomes.
rolling.
Yeah.
God
So,
bless.
Duke, you've got your map out. You're stepping around. You're moving a bit. You're trying to triangulate as best you can. You think those are mountains. They kind of look like mountains. They're a little bit too geometric. You think that's plains. You think this is the road. And as you're shifting and moving, you kind of lose a little bit of sight of your of where you're at, and you feel this sudden expulsion as one of those like lashing like tendrils is just moving around at the base of this thing and up in the air, just comes sweeping around. You all watch as Duke gets lifted up into the air and is hurled about 100 yards away from you all, kind of in this westernly direction. He just goes. Phew. Now the good news is that he's in the Umbra, so it's not like he's landing with any great force, as he just tends to sort of float in this more almost like like lighter gravity kind of way, and then eventually comes sprawling down to the ground. But in the process, you have torn up that map. The map has suffered some physical damage as you land.
Oh no, my heart.
All right, well, damn.
Well,
He waves 100 yards away.
All right, I'm inclined to trust your gut, Lou. You feel
Yeah.
like it's over that way, right? And we don't have to go through this thing. We can go around
no,
it, right?
definitely. I would not go closer to. Well, we
Okay.
don't want to do what Duke just did.
Understood. I've got an idea,
Mm.
right? Now we had you there. I heard some commentary about like the feeling of sterility around here. Like this is a plant life reaching out for nourishment, and everything's sterile around here. And it sees a glimpse, lightning reaches for that. Now it just so happens, one of the rights that I have is all about the right of the living Karen, basically trying to provide sustenance to a living spirit, trying to get that. What I think is. And I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. I'll go that direction, do the right, and it's gonna reach for that nourishment, and you all run over that way. And then hopefully I do a good enough job that it kind of goes to nosh on that for a spell, and I can come by, and what's worse could happen.
Many things.
Very, very, very bad things.
Very
I
bad.
know,
The worst
I know.
that could
things.
happen.
I think you saw what the worst could happen. And it just happened.
No, that was not the worst.
No, that was not the worst.
Yeah, maybe it's just like wants to like fling people, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. I definitely think you should do it.
I
Okay.
would be curious to see it because maybe you're right and it is trying to feed. Maybe that's why it's consuming the houses because something was corrupted by the humans trying to build here over and over and over again. Even the stargazing, maybe they caused something in the spirit here and maybe it just needs to eat.
Maybe. So like I know this isn't gonna be like a long-term solution. My hope is that this is enough to like
Distraction.
look at the bunny, right? I'm gonna make the bunny over there, and y'all are gonna go there. And if we get lucky, I'll run like hell and catch
Well,
up with you.
If we get separated, go to that little beacon of light. That's what I think we're our next point of interest.
Well,
Okay.
don't we want to break through the membrane and look for our pack first? Aren't they going to be in the? Do we think they're in the sterile community, or do we think they're in the lab?
We don't know.
Yeah,
We
I
know
know.
that they
No,
were. We
but-
know that we gave them.
But if
the
he's making
information
us-
for the lab.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you make nourish, we could try to push through the membrane to see what happens. But if it goes wrong, I am definitely getting knocked unconscious.
I feel like going through the membrane would be this last thing we would want to try. I say we go to the light first.
Okay.
Duke,
I mean,
if
I
you would
like
like to
past
try to
judgment,
enter
but I
the
don't love going through membranes.
I am
It's
not going
my
to
favorite.
split up more people.
I'm happy to watch you try this membrane idea.
I'm just saying the last thing we heard was Whispering Sands. Whispering
you're right,
Sands
you're
and the
right.
lab are not
No.
the same thing.
No, you're right. We should go to the houses first. Through the membrane it is.
Well, if he's distracting and then we find the thinness of the membrane, it's like popping through a bubble, I imagine.
Or
Duh.
maybe, or if y'all are going to go in there, maybe I'll make it a continuous ride instead of just trying to like, get a flash. If y'all are really going to go through the membrane, maybe I try and do it upright and try and keep it going and try and buy you as much time as I can.
Is there any part of this we can try talking to before this?
Okay, what if we...
I don't think it's a talking to.
What if we pray to Princess? Maybe she'll help. I mean, you can try. It's not the worst idea. We are near a mountain-ish.
You're not near the Rocky Mountains. You're not
My map's destroyed. Okay, I
southeast
don't
of
know.
Phoenix.
I don't know what mountain it is.
Without my map, I don't
Okay.
know.
The cartographer.
As soon as the map is gone, the mountain
Yeah.
is the mountain.
He doesn't know.
No sense.
I don't even know where I'm going anymore.
Okay, well,
Like a person without their GPS on their phone, they can't.
Like a
even
man
function.
needing a retirement home.
Yeah, that was my whole gig.
All right, so Eustace, you're going to do
Yep.
the thing temporarily so we can all travel together through the membrane.
Yeah, just start it.
We
and
all
once
need to
it's
go
going,
together.
just run with us. We'll all hold
Okay.
hands and jump through together.
I will definitely go help Eustace with this eating thing.
and pray to Princess.
Are we allowing the take half thing?
For
Or is it
this,
too crazy here in this realm?
I would say because there's the potential for a lot of bad things
Yeah,
here. Let's have
okay.
do a roll. Let's do a roll.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of stuff could go wrong here, but no.
I know.
I mean, we've been rolling really well. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm
I'm
gonna end
just
the
going to.
campaign tonight, and it's just me and Aaron next week.
Blech.
Aaron,
All right.
they're all gone.
We just all turn into acid.
I know it's not really based off composure, but I'm just clicking something to make a
Sure.
roll that'll be. Oh, or is it? There we go.
Okay, I'll
it's-
try to push through the
wisdom crap.
membrane with you if we do this plan.
Let's do a couple things at once. The couple things are gonna happen. I want to see what Eustace does first.
Yes.
We are all curious to see what Eustace does
Okay.
and what this roll looks like.
Okay,
Are you praying
that
to
should get me
Princess?
to-
Pray to Princess.
Craft and composure would get me
You
to the
can
8
pray to
dice I would
Princess.
normally roll.
Duke is definitely praying to Princess.
Okay.
Eustace is like, could you all shut the hell up so I could do my thing?
All right, 3. I could have.
Peanut gallery.
Man, I would normally have gotten 4 if I just took half, but y'all won't shut up.
But you can re-roll the green ones, and then there's
Actually,
no
yes,
possible.
I will.
There's no possible.
Yes.
Yeah, because that
reroll.
is a failure actually.
Okay,
3 successes.
I
is
will
a
do that.
failure.
So
Yeah.
I'll do 3d10s.
2 more.
2 more, so that gets us up to 5.
5 successes is a failure actually, because the
Wow.
difficulty is 2 plus the cairn value. So with that
Oh.
in mind, and
But
it's not the
Princess-
same thing because this isn't technically a cairn, but I'm using basically.
I hear
Yeah,
you. Like
yeah,
I was stretching. I was using.
No,
You
no, that's
know,
fine. So, what does it look like when you are using what does it look like when you're trying to actually provide sustenance? What does it look like for you? So,
Yeah.
noting that we're in Umbra too.
I think normally a big part of it is like he kind of. A lot of his stuff is all about cooking and that sort of thing. It's almost like he draws a circle in the ground and kind of
Mhm.
like the equivalent of like creating a fire pit and then sort of like drawing these weird spiritual ley lines to kind of pull in the energy from various areas and focus them into that fire pit and then lighting it kind of like a bluish silvery blaze.
Mhm.
Except maybe right now it's not quite he's getting like embers, but he can't quite get it to spark all the way.
Mhm. You're there. It's kind of like the spark. Like you have the flame. It's there. It's visible. But it's not as as probably impactful as maybe you wanted it to be. You see like a small little like tendril comes out. It almost seems like it's like looking, sensing, and it just doesn't seem all that particularly interested. Though, then you're standing next to it. And you see suddenly it begins to kind of reach a little bit in your direction, slowly, like cautiously. Plenty of time for you to step away. And that's about the time when you guys hear a voice, woman's voice. Just what the hell are you all doing? And you look over and you can see there's a woman standing handful of feet from you. You're not exactly sure where she came from. You'd probably peg her maybe in her 50s or so. She's got like this large bandana kind of tucked and like this black and white hair kind of frizzing out underneath it. And she says, y'all might want to take a handful of very careful and slow steps away, unless you all want to be food.
Oh, well, hello. Yes, we'll
Is this
do
the
that.
retirement home?
Well, in a manner of speaking.
What does that mean?
It means they would retire you to a farm.
I don't think that's what that means, but
Yeah, I don't think that's what I meant either.
You go back to the farm. Return to the farm.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to just shake it. I still don't think
No, this doesn't
Listen.
translate.
I'm going to offer you the same warning they offered folk that came here before, because you wouldn't be looking at this thing in this place if you weren't of the people. So, leave, return back to wherever it is you came from, stay away, and you won't be harmed. Simple as that.
We are happy to do so, but the people that were here before, what did they do, and where did they go?
Well, interesting question, that one.
That's
one of
really
them-
all. Oh, yes, sorry, go.
Well, one of them was a group of them came a few days ago, led by a fellow with very beautiful hair, and he did not heed the warning, and he is now no more. And he went inside there, and he will not come out. Now, about a day or so later, a little fella came, all filled with spit and vinegar and excitement, and demanding this and demanding that to me and my pack. And he listened dutifully, and then we told him the same warning that we're telling you. Stay away from this. It is not of you. It is not for you. It is here. It is feeding. And that is all you need to know. I'm sorry about your people, but they were warned.
You're the stargazers.
She nods. She's like, we are.
And
Pleasure to
you're
meet you then.
Pleasure.
100% sure that anybody that went through here is gone. There's 0% chance for them.
Oh,
They've
well,
gone too far.
she's digesting right now, and when she's done, we'll shepherd her somewhere else. But until then, she can't go. Don't go moving her. Don't go poking her. Don't go feeding her. That's what we do.
Can I
Tend
ask
to her.
what
Shepherd her.
is she?
Well, she's a spirit. She's a
yeah.
voracious one at that. She is a creature Gaia has put before us. She is our charge. She's there to curb the expansionism of humans out into places that they should, well, not be expanded to. And that is what she does, and that's what she has always done. And that is what my kin have been shepherding and tending to over these many years. Now, if you all wouldn't mind stepping away, I really do not want another group of Garu's deaths on my conscience.
Can we go over there? And he points to the light.
Yeah, you can come up to our fire. That's fine.
Oh, you do know there's a like human research base near here, right?
No, there is not.
Can we see if
Couple
she's
info.
lying?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, you can roll insight. Is it? I think it's insight. I think that exists in this game.
does.
Insight.
It's intelligence.
Manipulation, charisma.
That's
I don't
fine.
know.
I mean, if you're good at lying, you might be able to detect lying. That's fine. Manipulation, composer, or charisma, one of those three.
I'll take composure.
Yeah, go for it.
4 successes for Selena. Oh gosh, we all rolled.
That's fine.
Yeah, for Duke.
4 is plenty. Okay. No, you don't get the sense that she's lying. I would say thus far, everything she said seems to be true. Those of you with 4 successes might get the sense that maybe she's holding one or two things back, but that's not the most uncommon thing in the world for people who've just met. But she certainly believes everything she said. And she'll look at you and she says, "Oh, no, there isn't. Never was. Never will be, though. They come here every night thinking that they're going to figure it out." Well, she shows them just how unwilling she is to be shackled.
And there was 2 Garu that were of ours that you think?
There are more than 2. The group
Right.
initially run by Darkpaw came with the nice hair, and then the kid that we sent after to check on his group is also apparently gone. He was full of vinegar chips.
Oh, we
Hector?
have him. He's up
Oh,
there.
you have him. Oh,
Yeah.
the child is not dead.
So just one person is dead?
No, one
I
group.
believe the whole pack, unfortunately. Darkpaw, as you called him, he was unreceptive to our warnings. He was insistent on exploring. We told him that is not a human neighborhood anymore. That is a gullet. And he would not listen. And so much so that he took one of our own hostage, brought him inside with him. We have lost one. I would rather not lose any more, and I would certainly not want to see any harm come to you.
That is, I'm sorry to hear that. And all the more grateful for your warning instead of that.
Yeah.
And-
What's
Can
that?
we go talk at the fire then?
Yeah, of course. Talking
Perhaps
is just
exchanging
fine.
information would be good.
Maybe out of the Umbra, because I feel like it will continue to drain us if we go to the fire through it.
That's true. It is easier to see the lines, though, in the Umbra. But yes, you can step through. It's easier up on the mountain, further away from her. She tends to make things more difficult.
Ah, okay.
We'll follow you.
It shows
Sorry,
she's
I
like, y'all
didn't
hungry?
Catch your name, ma'am.
That's because I did not offer it.
Hello, my name is Lou. What is your name?
Lucretia.
No? Lucretia.
Lucretia
Okay.
Nightblood.
Nice to
Yeah.
meet you, Prisha.
Lou and Lucretia. Huh.
Now, if you don't mind. I get very hungry down here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We are
I'm
as
not
well.
partial to membranes. I
Same.
agree with moving.
Well, I tell you, if you would have stepped through there, you wouldn't have been able to step back out.
Did not want to.
Well-
I'm easily swayed away from the original
We-
plan.
We appreciate your intervention on behalf of our lives.
Well, we saw her suddenly getting all kind of upset and figured, well, some idiot is around here searching for a new home or this or that or whatever the hell the billboards are sending them over here for now. It certainly isn't one of them folks in the helicopters. They only come at night.
Yeah.
Come on.
I thought I was making a snack for her, but I don't think I really prepared it right.
Oh, well, she'll eat just about anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't take it personally.
Nope.
So she leads you back a ways. We'll say you guys step through the gauntlet, and she'll lead you up basically to a small campground on a ridge not too far away. When you step through the gauntlet and look back, you see stretching out in front of you the very same subdevelopment that you saw on the internet. You see Whispering Sands. You see a big sign that says now open, new phase, new models. You can see that there is kind of like a leasing office out front. And there are this like double set of iron gates. There's no wall yet built, but you can see the flags for like a cinder block wall that's about to get put up at some point. You see no movement whatsoever. You can see streets. You see no sign of like cars moving around, no signs of people moving around, but you just see as far as the eye can see this development. You're not in it. You're a little bit of away from it, but it is very visible, very flat. You get led up to this little camping ground, and you can see that there are 3 like Winnebagos that have all been perched up in this almost like Conestoga wagon-like circle. There is at the center of that grouping, there is a large fire that is like a bonfire going off, and you can see that there are 2 other people that are standing around or sitting or kind of in the area. You see a younger man, probably Jacques' age, like 20s, maybe 30s at most, Native American. He's shaved head completely. And he's kind of like tending the fire a bit, just sort of stoking with it. And occasionally you see him just sort of reach into a bag next to him, like this just basic Jansport book bag, and just throws like a handful of dust into the fire itself. And it just goes, whoosh, just sort of floats up even faster. You see a woman, probably in her 40s, red hair. When she looks at you, you realize red eyes as well. Beautiful woman. But she doesn't really say anything. She kind of gives you all like this horrible, dirty look as you walk up. But Lucretia, she goes by Lucy, she points out each of them is Cannon, Red Fever. She points over to the red-haired woman. That is Tycho Bratstar. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. We were once of 4. We are now of 3. Orin Moonshadow was passed on into the gullet. Your man, your boy, he's asleep in that there vehicle. He'll be asleep for some time, unharmed.
We'll take him when we leave, I think. Riel, nice to meet you all.
Pleasure. You can see
Selena Bendis.
The guy looks up and he just sort of like nods. And the woman, like the red-haired woman, not more of them. I'm not more of them. Again, you freaking people. Can you not take a hint?
Yes, that's why we did not go into the thing. We took the hint.
She gets kind of mad at that because it made too much sense. And she kind of turns back around, and there's a folding table where you can see like there's some meat and stuff that they have, and she just goes back to just hacking through it and dressing it, things like that.
Well, I like her. She's nice.
No, she isn't.
I feel like you were rightfully aggrieved at the loss of someone dear to you, and I'm sorry to hear that. I'm terribly sorry that anyone related to us is the cause of that, but I'd love to hear more of who this person was, if you'd be willing to speak their name and let their tale carry on a little bit longer.
They all kind of like exchange a look. Like the red-haired woman shakes her head, and the guy tending the fire just sort of shrugs, and Lucretia just says, Orin Moonshadow, he was our elder, our leader of sorts. I suppose I am that now. And you hear like a scoff coming from the woman who's cutting the meat. He understood the dangers. We have been tending to the gullet I have been at this for 15 years. Cannon, 10. Tycho is the youngest. He's only been here for 5. Orin was at it for 50. We've lost people now and then, sometimes to the gullet. Accidents happen. Sometimes to ignorance, fools. werewolf hunters, those sorts of things. But
We should probably warn you, there's been a huge spike in werewolf hunters in this area. You should definitely be careful.
oh, we see some of them. Well, I don't know if they're hunting us exactly. Rather, they are very curious about our girl down there. They're desperate, you see. Every night or every other night or so, we hear the sounds of one of their metal birds, one of their helicopters flying over the ridge and landing somewhere down yonder. A handful of them will come out, some with guns, not that that would stop us. Some with the most delightful outfits, hazmat suits and the like. They think that'll protect them. They tether them up and they go wandering off into the neighborhood thinking that that's somehow gonna protect them. And then they look with great confusion when they pull that tether back and there's no one on the other end of it. That's how she works, you see. It's not always a neighborhood. It's been other things in the past. But we move her around every so often. We're like gardeners in some ways, though Ahroun always called us shepherds. Make sure that she doesn't stay in one place too long. She's had her fill. We lift her up, bring her somewhere else, somewhere where humans have reached too far. They have smothered the glory of Gaia with their virus themselves.
Gotcha. Kind of a controlled burn sort of thing.
Very much so. Exactly.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, yes, I like that it's kind of not with the people that are making neighborhoods, but I hope she leaves the people, the humans that do enjoy nature and try to preserve it alone, like the hikers and such.
There is no one who will live in that neighborhood that would be of one with Gaia. Those who would live in such a place as that. Look around, Lou. What do you see? Mountains.
Desert, sky, lots of spirits and animals.
And that terrible scar that they've now added. There's no reason for this place to be here. And they've added it. And those who purchase within there, well, they've signed their death warrants.
That's fair.
It is. I'm glad we can agree. You are far more so than Mr. Darkpaw was.
Which is unfortunate, but here we are. We were hoping to find them taken by the humans potentially, but we didn't realize this was what was going on when we found this location.
Yeah, those humans. Funny little fellas. Come out here with their devices and this and that. It's bad enough that they've soiled the physical world. It feels like they have a mind to reach into the spirits and try to take that one too.
They do. Actually, they've been working on that, and we're trying to figure out why, how, and how to stop them. But we were hoping to get our werewolf friends back.
Well, I am sorry about that. But I can tell you that those folks have come here and they've placed their little devices in and around the gullet, taken their readings. We've listened carefully. We've overheard things that they've said, studies. They want her. They want her very, very badly. They know enough to know that something is here, but they don't know what it is that they have. As far as I understand it, this isn't their first rodeo, but it's not ours either.
So if I may ask, what is sort of the ranging area? You say you move her from time to time. So how long has she been here, and how far do you travel with her in this area?
Well, we stay to the west, through the deserts. It's the best place. It's the easiest place to see the encroachments. We try to avoid larger cities, not because they're not deserving of some culling, but because to do so would probably draw more attention and more ire than I think we are capable of dealing with at this moment. Places where human greed and human desire and imagination is run just a bit too rampant. When apparently a beautiful desert spread or a mountain ridge line or a forest even isn't pretty enough for them. And they'd rather construct those, and she's like motioning down the ridge, these concrete and plaster things that they call homes, houses, but are more like cages and coffins. No, we pick and choose, but never stay anywhere too long. Don't want to draw too much attention.
You said they left devices around to take readings. Did they ever actually leave them and you got to collect any of them? Did you find any of their stuff that we can have? Maybe.
Oh, we didn't collect it, but there's probably a dozen or more devices that they have. Perimeter around the gullet there.
Maybe
They'll
I will
probably
go
be
collect.
back tonight too.
Tempting.
Like I
I would
said.
like such things.
Yeah. You're welcome to them. It's not of interest to us.
It's so strange how desperate they are. I mean, if they've lost countless men, according to you, but they keep trying.
But that's a problem with some humans. They don't even see value in the lives of other humans, much less nature. That is a problem.
Well, I do want to say our pack is only an hour and a half away, so I do want to exchange contact information in case you guys do need help, because we've been attacked by werewolf hunters already, and that was going north. And there's another lab that we think is to the west of here, so that's where we're going, where another of our pack went, but they seem to be everywhere, these people.
Does my phone work if I come out and look at my GPS? Because we don't have a paper map anymore.
You got like maybe like 1 or 2 bars at most type of deal, but you have a signal, sure.
People just write his number on a piece of paper.
Okay, Duke, here is a spare burner phone I picked up from the convenience store down there when I got some smokes. You can put their phone number if they, do you need okay, I'm probably giving phones to people that will never
I can
use
do
them.
it.
We use phones.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she's just judging old people. I don't know what her deal is. Anyways, I want us to be cordial at least, because it seems like all Garou are in trouble in this area, and not all of them are up to protecting Gaia like we are.
You hear another scoff from the red-haired woman. The other guy is kind of like still throwing the dust and the sand and the fire, and he's kind of looking up at you with a very confused look on his face. But Lucretia, she just has a very elevated view. We don't often receive such invitations where we travel. We will gladly do so. We will likely not be back once we leave in this area for a few years. But thank you for the warning.
And I mean no disrespect with this question, but as Duke mentioned, we are based close to this area. Are you planning to relocate anytime soon?
Once she's done digesting, then we can leave. Never want to leave when she's on an empty stomach. It makes shepherding so much more difficult.
Sure. So is digestion meaning another night, another 7 nights?
It's hard to say exactly. She just ate and fed last night. The buildings are still standing. Normally they would crumble inward. think we still have a few days left. Week on the outset, maybe.
And Selena will kind of look back at the rest of the pack. If we think that the lockroom folks might be back again tonight, might we want to work with these folks to set up a trap for them and try to thin their numbers a bit?
Well, aren't they
Sounds
just getting
good.
eaten? I mean, aren't they just walking in?
Some of them do, yeah. One or two every time they think they've discovered some new theory, some new secret. We've counted, what would you say there, Cannon? Would you say about 7 or 8 of them over the past, we'll say, 2 weeks? They just come by. First few was an accident, which you can imagine. One or two of their folks go wandering around following, well, some little scanning device they might have in their hand, and they turn a corner down a street, and when they turn back, well, there ain't no way out at that point. And after that, a few, they came by trying to recover. And those first nights, that was probably the most of them, because they sent a group in with guns, and like that's going to do any good. But they didn't come out. And after that, I think they realized they were working with something a little bit more serious. And that's when we start seeing the fancy suits and little devices that they've got set around the perimeter and such. Well, and they come by every so often, only at night. Just curious, I suppose, but it's fine for us. It's easy enough to get close and listen.
I will say, be cautious if you hear something that's along the lines of something that sounds like a siren from them. They have developed something that can just kind of take some of that inner rage and kind of redirect it in a way that might be cross-purpose to what you're trying to do here and maybe lead you astray of your shepherding.
Much obliged. Thank you. You guys, at this point, you see like one of the Winnebago starts to shake a bit. No, I think your boy's awake.
We'll take him and get out of your hair. It seems like
Well-
you know what you're doing.
I would like to listen.
Then go
I
take
agree.
a piece of
Yeah.
equipment. I don't think we need to stay here if we have another lab to go take care of and another pack members that are in trouble.
I think if we're going to go off that direction anyways, I think it's fair that we all have a drink
Okay.
for a couple reasons. Number one, it helps with keeping things out of your head, but more importantly, let's set up some of these little horned mugs here and let's all share a drink to Ahroun, a man who gave 50 years, Guru gave 50 years, shepherding a spirit of such an immense nature I can barely comprehend it. That's a hell of a amount of dedication. And I respect it, and I'm sorry that his watch has ended, but I can see that he is followed by others that are true to the course as he would like to see it. Ahroun.
She takes a cup. She cheers. The rest of them, the other two, are very confused. The red-haired woman is absolutely like almost apoplectic. She's like sniffing it and like something might be wrong with it. The other guy kind of looks at it and he shrugs and takes a drink. One of the windows like gets cracked open and you see a foot stick out through it.
Calm down.
And at that point, then the foot gets pulled back in, and then you see Hector's face suddenly stick out from where the foot would be, and he's there. You can tell he's bound. Maybe he's not really sure, but he's trying to go Glabro, but he's been struggling. He's kind of new, so it's like not like he's only been a month at this, and he's like, help! They killed him! They killed him!
Hector, I'm coming. I'm going to go untie the child.
Why are
Thank
you
for
drinking
the
with them?
drink,
They killed
Eustace.
him!
Okay,
What?
well, not quite. Okay, we're going to come explain it to you. It's a little more complicated,
They
and
killed
I'll
them
go.
all. They just killed him.
No, it's okay. Did you see in the Umbra when you traveled, or did you only go into material plane? It's like what?
I don't know how to do the thing that you
Okay,
guys do.
so Yes, there's a big Cabbage Patch child with tentacles coming in the Umbra, and yes, lots of
Did
tentacles.
they throw their damn fairy dust on you too? You just throw the fairy dust on her too?
Hector, okay, Duke, you should probably, you're better maybe with describing things to children.
Okay, Hector, look. So I know you're new to being a werewolf, and it can be very daunting. It can be very challenging.
I'm gonna go untie him.
Move it around like
I'll
a
go
fish
untie him.
Yeah, we'll start like kind of untying him as he's saying this.
rolling from the chin.
And there are a lot of different types of werewolves. There's different clans. We're all different. And there's also a spirit world that you've never been to. And in the spirit world, everything's different. And what happened was, like many people, if you've heard what we were talking about, if you go into that area, you can be stuck in the spirit that's in the spirit world. And that's what happened to our pack. They didn't do anything, these people here.
Yeah, they did. They fed him. They fed him to the thing. That's what they did. And they were going to feed me too. They got me all sleepy. They gave me that fairy dust. And then they were going to feed me to him too. They're going to dangle me over like I'm some
Hector,
freaking
why did they
fish
wait till you
something.
woke up and we got here?
Cause I'm really strong and young
Yeah,
and
and
virile,
very
and the fairy dust doesn't
unconscious.
work on me that well.
And unconscious?
Can we
I'm
look and
conscious now.
and see
So
what
Selena's-
fairy dust is around or something? Like what he's talking
So
about?
well,
If
you've
we've
noticed that-
seen the guy throwing sand
The
into
guy's
the
meant to-
fire
yeah.
since we got here.
yeah.
So Selena's going to turn to Lucy
Mhm.
and just say, so how much of this was them wandering in and how much of this was you doing your tending and helping our pack find their way to be fed?
She looks like offended. And she's like still holding the drink that Eustace has. We do not intentionally feed other Geru. And then you would say that we would do, that you would imply such a thing after the time that we have just spent conversing on this. That is an insult and a grave one at that.
I was asking a question. Our pack mate had a clear idea of what happened, and I would be a bad pack mate if I did not ask the question to the folks that we just met, whether there
Your
was any
boy
truth to the allegation.
was angry and accusatory and violent. Tried very badly to shift into a form he should not shift into. We gave him a little nap. We put him on a bed. And we were going to return him when we were ready to leave.
Can I roll another
Insight.
insight? Please.
We've talked too much, these people, for her to lie about it.
She's just stalling until the
Necessarily,
rest of the
but-
She's like, whatcha? Dust.
3 successes.
Okay, you happy with 3?
Reroll, we're at the end.
Mm.
Go ahead, do it.
No.
You can get, if you get another crit, you can have some more.
Selena, at some point in time, we really
4.
should bring Hector into the Umbra so he can like experience it.
Yeah, it seems like we need to. We've been a little busy though.
He needs an
I'm
education.
sure we get another brutal result.
4 successes. Selena, you don't sense any deception from her. Like, you don't think that she is like outright lying to you. She, again, you can tell is not like most people, is probably withholding. But she also, you can tell, is getting very angry, and she is very almost like Eustace, like super calm demeanor, like very like level. This is the first time you've seen any kind of blip of anger for her, but you get no sense that she's straight up lying to you about anything.
Okay. So I think with that, I would feel confident that if Hector said that they were feeding them, that's not what happened.
Mhm.
That was a perception.
That's fine. but I'll say Hector is still sick. But they fed him.
They are stargazers. They have a different ways than us and a different mentality. So you have to be different.
Bodhi said they're
responses.
traitors, is what they are.
No, that's not quite true because the traitors are more like the evil black dancer, black tendril dancers. What are they? Duke, what are the evil
Spiral
dancers?
Black cabbage dancers.
Black cabbage dancers,
Black
the cabbage
cabbage
patch dancers.
They're like, woo!
What kind of dance did they do?
It's
The
a spiral
cabbage
dance.
patch.
Cabbage
Yeah,
patch.
I knew where it was.
That's the correct answer.
Look,
Um,
it's okay. You know, what has happened has already happened. These people, they live their own lives. It's their choice. They don't have to be in a big pack. They don't have to have multiple packs like we do. I know things are confusing. You've just become a new werewolf. And whatever has happened, the truth will never be found.
We brought you some friends home.
Just go down there and
We
get
can't get them.
Hector. Okay, Selena, can you take him to the Umbra to see the Cabbage Patch child?
There is a spirit above that community that is up to the skies big. And
Yes,
anyone
yes.
who walks in that community gets stuck and slowly dies in there.
Did you
It's
ever
a
watch
big
Godzilla
creature.
versus Smog Monster?
Godzilla.
He's like 5 years
Like-
old. He hasn't watched any Godzillas.
Is
I
it
don't know.
like the one with the guy from Breaking Bad?
Sure.
Wasn't he in? Wasn't he? I think he was.
I
in
don't
one.
know.
He was.
He's in
He
one
was.
of them.
He
It
was
was a
like
very
one of the
bad
ones.
one, and I
Sorry,
don't want to
thinking
start
about that.
ranting
Jeremy
about
didn't react.
it.
I'm like, shit, did I get
Yeah.
that wrong? I think
No,
that's
he
right.
was. He was.
It was. It was a
Because
bad
he finds
one.
the Monarch site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, not that one, no. But think about that size. You're thinking in the right scope. So think of a spirit that's kind of a kaiju style spirit. And
Okay.
it's just like a living entity of hunger. Okay.
Okay.
And these people eat that when you get something that big, can you control Godzilla? Now, at best, you might be able to point them in a direction. And that's a
okay.
hell of a responsibility. And that's what these people do. They got this hungry kaiju spirit that they lead into the best place that they can.
Okay.
And unfortunately, sometimes people that don't know about it come running into it. And it's a hell of a thing. It's a terrible thing.
It was really our fault. We should have been the ones to come out here, but there were a few different things that had to happen at the same time, and it was very, very unfortunate.
But we're Geru. We just hop down Godzilla's
No,
freaking throat. And then we
no.
grab our friends, and then when Godzilla takes his shit, then we'll regenerate, right? We're like freaking invincible.
When it's necessary, yeah. Sometimes you
We are
do
not
got to jump in that
invincible.
monster's mouth. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you need to pay attention to your surroundings. I know I'm a broken record, but it's all about kind of keeping a balance, you know? You don't always jump in the monster's gullet. Because sometimes it just gets you dead and it accomplishes nothing.
But we're supposed to have each other's backs, man.
Right, you're right.
Right.
But there's also things bigger than us. We are strong, but we are also stronger as a pack and we're stronger together. But there are spirits and creatures and things that are beyond us. And this is one of them.
Man.
So we stay alive, we take this wisdom back, and that will make us greater as a whole.
But then we don't go back with Bodhi and all the others.
No, it's okay. So when you play Overwatch or something, and you've got the person who is the tank, you also have the FPS person. That FPS person might try to claim and rage and be like, "Oh, I'm the best killer. Look how many people I kill." But you need the whole team. You need that tank in front.
This is
It's a balance.
horrible reference.
We've done 5 horrible references. I really just think that
But
Celine
in Overwatch,
should
like you can
bring-
respawn like super easy because you're
Yeah,
like
this-
freaking
we can't
invincible,
respawn.
just
Yeah,
like
but
werewolves.
Just video games, not real life.
No,
Sort of.
there are many things that you are now
Selena, just bring him
powerful
to the
enough
Umbra
to
and scare him.
do.
With the
Now
actual
that,
thing. Just
now
show
that
him the
you
actual
know
thing.
your powers, there are things that you can do. But there are still things that can kill us. There are still things that are more powerful than we are.
I know, silver and shit. There ain't no silver down there. Well, there might be silver. There's some probably rich people down. But like whatever it is, the spirit's not made of silver.
We look. We're gonna go back. We're gonna leave these people alone, and we're gonna go into the Umbra at our place, and we will show you what exists there. We will show you the greatness of spirits.
Adora showed me. Like, she showed me the
like
freaking
this.
spring and everything. Like, it's
No,
fine.
you didn't see all of it.
And
though.
Adora, she's not gonna like this. She's not gonna like us be, oh, hey, like they're down there, but hey, we can't go in because we're scared.
Duke eyes the sleeping dust.
Okay, yeah.
We have a guy down there. He just holds up the JanSport bag. He's like, now you see why we did it.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
I do think, though, I think Lou was right. If we're here, I think we could try to trap some of the other ones and listen to them. We're going to need to get more information. Our fight is not over against this corporation and all of the rest of us.
Whatever, guys. Man, Door's not gonna like this.
Okay, look,
Just
I
let
will
him
go
die.
and take Hector back, and I will talk to Adora, and you guys stay and stake out. Because Hector is not going to make your staking out easy if this is how he's going to act. And
I'm right here. Like
I'm aware, but you're acting like a little werewolf, and we need to act like adults here.
an adult, like an adult. Oh, okay, man. You know, what they say about you guys is true. I didn't want to believe it, but you guys are past your prime. Jacques like the only one who has like, you know,
I am not that old.
werewolf spirit, but you
Okay.
act like an old lady.
Sleeping
I
dust.
don't actually.
from
Yeah,
Duke.
let's throw sleeping dust on. Fighting is not the solution to most problems.
You just
And he
throw
just
something
stares
that
him
does this,
down
just-
as he goes, falls asleep. He just stares him
He just
down.
falls over. And Lucretia's like, we tried. He didn't listen
Yeah,
to
okay.
us either.
It's hard with young werewolves. We know it's
And
unfortunate.
Titan seemed much better since this.
Yeah. Look, I'll go take him back. You guys do what you want to do, but we need to get the story straight with Adora, and I'll tell her about everything because we can't have Hector be the one explaining this, or it's not going to go over well.
How many hours until nightfall?
I mean, you guys were in the Umbra for a little while, so time always moves a little different. So not long. Let's say like 3.
3 hours? Because if we're 1 hour away, we can all pop back, drop Hector off, talk to Adora, and then come back here for the evening.
We can try that, yeah.
Okay.
Because maybe being by ourselves is not so smart right now. I did want to
Okay.
show him the Cabbage Patch Kid, though, but as he is sleeping, it's better.
Maybe, yeah, let's do our spirit. It's
Okay.
a little nicer.
But I think this one will have greater impact because it's scary.
Yeah, but then we have to wake him up, and that's just, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to deal with that
he
anymore.
crossed a couple lines, just
He
a little
really
too
did,
far.
yes. We're going
He's-
to have to
you-
train him again.
It's been so long since you went through your change. You don't remember what it was like to
I
just
know.
get a new
I-
sense of
It's hard.
Mhm.
I
your
get
place
it.
in the world.
It's difficult,
I've
but
only been
we
the
just haven't
werewolf
had
like
time to
5, 6
explain it to him.
years.
And he came here to save his pack. Like he's coming up here trying to be a big damn hero. Like
Mhm.
And he's not wrong that Adora will
He's not.
be quite displeased that we bring her back one of the pack that came out here.
There's nothing we can do about that, though.
I think she has a sense that something has gone wrong. I don't think this will be shocking.
You guys just hear a flunk as like you look over and the red-haired woman is just like cutting the meat up with like this big old cleaver, just staring at you guys.
I
Oh, hey,
smile with my
want to
beautiful
come?
smile at her beautiful smile. Oh, she doesn't stop smiling.
Kill her with kindness.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, actually, I think so. Maybe we should.
Eustace,
Move.
is your bar open tonight? Maybe we should get some food and then come back to the stakeout.
Or nothing else. I just like assist with cooking something up.
Oh.
Maybe if they don't want to go there, because they probably do like to keep tabs on her.
That's fair.
And yeah, Lucretia will speak up. At least 2 of us at all times. Which will be more
you like
difficult
to
now.
accompany us back?
For what purpose?
Fun and exploration.
What if we just come back and meet up with them for the stakeout?
You're welcome
Yes,
to
it's-
return. In peace.
We
That's
want to bring
kind of you.
Hector.
We would be grateful.
Okay. We will be back.
She nods. The guy takes his bag back with his sleeping dust. The woman cutting the meat doesn't say anything to you all. You guys retreat back, pass by the big old development. Again, nothing there. It's like strangely quiet, no movement. It's the weirdest thing to look at, like a neighborhood in the middle of a desert that has nothing to it. Like there's no movement, no sound, nothing. Back up the road, and eventually you're able to kind of get back to your car, load up. You just drop Hector in the bed of the Ford Ranger, and then you guys begin your return. And we'll pick up there next time with Aaron. We'll have everyone in, and then if you guys want to come back, do something with these folks to keep poking at this gullet, then we can do that with Jacques in tow. All right.
You're the most diplomatic werewolves ever.
Jacques is
We
going
didn't
to
start
eat.
a fight.
Hector
Jacques is
gonna
gonna eat up all of that.
Yeah.
Hector's also 1 month old. Who cares?
I think
Yeah,
we
he's not
really
real
should
at
have
all.
scared the shit out of Hector with the spirit.
I don't think he's gonna be afraid of you guys. Oh, you mean the octogenarians? God, those guys geriatric werewolves. Ugh. Just want to talk to people all the time. What is this, United Nations? Anyhow, all right.
Man, that sounds like a
Very
nice idea.
American.
The United
Everyone lose
Nations
a
of
rage.
Garu.
Everyone's right. Everyone's just too kind.
I'm already at 0.
Oh God, you lost the wolf.
You
That's a
didn't.
shame.
I thought you howled at the moon and got
Don't
one back.
talk. No, well, you don't worry
You
about
lost it again?
it. No, don't look at my character sheet.
Good lord.
What?
You lost it twice. Yeah, that's rough.
Good night.
See, I just make sure to bottle all my rage up and just let it explode at opportune times.
Mm-hmm. That's how you.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
Like showing
take the-
Adora you're the alpha. Yeah, opportune times.
Wanna pick a fight
Poor
with Adora?
Adora.
Oh no.
All right.
Duke. Thank you for providing me with so much rage to bottle up, Duke. I really
Yeah, you're
appreciate
welcome.
that. You're helping me.
I want you to be at
So
peak
now-
performance.
Now Hector is like secretly listening to Duke trying to convince Eustace to attack Adora and take over the sept. Up on the right hand.
Oh God.
Leave and
Hector will
God.
remember that. Oh,
Eustace is the last person that would try and do.
oh, I don't.
It's so
That's not
funny.
how Hector's.
If
gonna
he
be. So
believed it, that would be
bloodthirsty.
so funny.
Right.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. All right, we'll pick up. So we'll pick up there next time. We'll have a full pack, and maybe we'll go back and catch some helicopters coming down in the middle of the night and see what goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do some closing plugs, and we'll get on out of here. So we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy, Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reed's on Patreon. If you get comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff, check it out.
Perfect. Aaron's not here, but I'll just mention go check him out on Garblight Games Twitch channel over there. He plays there. I think Wednesdays he's running his Marvel Multiverse game, and he might play in a game or not too. But I know he's got Marvel Multiverse on Wednesdays, so go take a look at that. As for us, tomorrow night we're back to Delta Green. We're gonna try again. See how this goes. We're back to Delta Green tomorrow night, so come hang out for that. We're gonna meet Melissa's third character. Good times. And then Melissa's on her third, Steven's on his second, and then Ashley's on her second.
Ashley's on her second.
Long's the only one who's there who's still survived. We'll see how it goes. I think we're great. It's gonna be great.
No,
I mean, to
isn't
be
Ashley
fair-
third as well. Third character.
Ashley's on her second. No, she'll be on her second. So, her
Yeah, she
first
still
died
got
like right
Lisa.
off the bat. Her first,
Oh,
her
okay.
first
Not
died
dead
so fast it doesn't really count. Let's be honest. Like, it was just like the opening credits ended, and
I'm
tripped
counting
and
Lisa
fell and strangled.
preemptively, I admit.
Yeah, she's in trouble. She's in trouble. She's in trouble. Yeah, Steven destroys New York. Yeah, we're gonna go to a different city tomorrow night, Australis, and Steven can destroy that one. All right. So then after that, Saturday, we got some more Call of Cthulhu, continuing our Eternal Lies campaign. A lot of fun. We should be wrapping up Savannah, moving on to a new location. So that's fun to do. Monday, I believe we got Monster of the Week. We've been off for that for a while, but we'll get back to that. Tuesday, Marvel Multiverse RPG. And then in a week, we'll be back with more Werewolf. Thanks everybody who hung out tonight. Thank you to 20 Sides to Every Story for the raid. We will go ahead and pay that forward and raid someone ourselves. So follow that when it pops up. I probably should have had this ready. If I were good at this, I would have done that before I started doing the goodbye. All right, Dork Tales. Let's do that. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.